Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Viewers, Pakistan lost another important case on the Kishan-Ganga dispute in the International Courts of Arbitration against India. The 43-page judgment of the International Courts of Arbitration shows clear signs of betrayal and disloyalty on the part of Islamabad, as even the court was surprised to note that Pakistan did not even submit the critically important data to secure its claim over its own waters. Water experts already warned Islamabad of New Delhi's evil designs against the Pakistani waters, but the ignorance and indifference of our own decision makers on this critical issue sees no end. Besides this failure, DGMOs of Pakistan and India held face-to-face talks for the first time in 14 years here at Wagah border and agreed to make their hotline contact more effective and result-oriented, but actually story of this meeting tells another tale. Did India agree with Pakistan on the burning issues like LOC ceasefire or not? In short, DGMO's meeting might be just a routine meeting, but some questions do arise here. Is the responsible for negligence over Kishan-Ganga dispute? Who is the responsible behind this? Is the Water Commission the responsible faculty behind this case? What would be the future of Pakistan agriculture after losing its fourth river? Is Pakistan realizing Indian water war plans against itself? On the other hand, why Pakistan was on back step in DGMO's meeting? Today we will discuss all the aspects of Kishan-Ganga dispute and the DGMO's meeting between the two countries. We will also try to touch base the Turkish Prime Minister visit and the face of Pakistan's relations with Turkey. As you know, viewers, that I have Mr. Zaid Hamid with me in my show. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Zaid Hamid. Before we start our discussion on some very important topics, as you would have seen, that we would like to know what happened in the Kishan-Ganga dispute or Neelam Jhelum project that we had in Pakistan, the decision that we got from the international courts, what happened behind doors in bringing this decision. Before we start our discussion, we have a report put together so that our viewers can get updated with us on this Kishan-Ganga issue, and then we will start our discussion.
Ganga Dam on Pakistan International Court of Arbitration has allowed India to build Kishan-Ganga Dam in the occupied Kashmir. The country has been ordered to provide half of the dam's water to Pakistan. The court also ruled that India cannot take the water on a very low level in the dam. India's 330 megawatt Kishan-Ganga hydroelectric power project would affect Pakistan 969 megawatt Neelam Jhelum hydroelectric project. Pakistan had objected on the design of the dam and the Indian government violation of Indus Water Treaty in 1960. Indian project would reduce energy generation of Pakistan hydroelectric project by 13% or 700 million units. The project would affect 30% production of Pakistan's 278 billion Neelam Jhelum powerhouse and cause shortage of 2,000 causes of water in Neelam Valley. With the construction of Kishan-Ganga Dam, Pakistan is to brave loss of $145 million every year for the power lost in Neelam Jhelum project following massive reduction in water flows. Pakistan will face a loss of more than $544 million every year. More shocking development is that India's plan to construct 10 more hydropower projects upstream Waller Lake that would inflict more damage to Pakistan water interests. Pakistan received 2.4 million acre-feet of water every year if the average releases of water is last 30 years are kept in view. With diversion of water by India, Pakistan will be deprived of 45% of 2.45 MAF water, and in drought years, the country will be deprived of 90% of 2.4 MAF. The Neelam Jhelum hydropower project is to produce 5,178 million units of electricity annually. The diversion of water will negatively impact the flow of 58.4 cubic meter per second if India continues to undertake the Kishan-Ganga hydropower project.
Yes, Mr. Zaid Hamid, as you saw our report on this Kishan-Ganga Dam issue, I want to ask you a billion-dollar question. The decision from the International Courts of Arbitration, this decision, whose fault is it? Pakistan's or India?
You see, Pakistan government has betrayed the nation. Pakistan as a nation was kept in dark. Pakistani state has been actually auctioned in the International Court of Arbitration by a government which was too incompetent, too corrupt and too unserious to understand the magnanimity of the threat posed by the Indian water wars against Pakistan. To put it very simply, since 1947, since the two countries have come into existence, we have fought almost 5 major and smaller wars over Kashmir. Pakistan and India have fought. But none of the wars were decisive. But now, if Pakistan could pen the land of Kashmir, Pakistan could afford to pen the decision over the land of Kashmir, Pakistan will not be able to pen the decision over stealing of its water by India. The next war between Pakistan and India is going to be on water. And decisions like these that you are seeing now, decisions by the International Court of Arbitration, that they have handed over Pakistani rivers to India despite an existing treaty of 1960, or Indus Water Treaty, which allowed Pakistan to use those rivers.
Why did our own leaders, why did our own government did this to us?
You see, the betrayal has been going on for the last 15 years almost, ever since the time of Musharraf. Musharraf was too busy fighting the American war on terror in Afghanistan. And at that time, nobody within the government had any clue as to what India was doing in occupied Kashmir. They were building almost 60 dams, smaller and bigger ones. They were blocking our rivers, exploiting the American presence in Afghanistan, exploiting the stupidity and incompetence of the government in Islamabad at that time, which was too focused on peace with India under American pressure, too focused on fighting the American war in Afghanistan, that Indians were able to exploit the environment and opportunity, started building the dams then. And throughout the tenure of Musharraf, nobody took notice. Throughout the tenure of Zardari, the democracy, when it came the last 6 years, nobody took notice. And now in the 6 months of Nawaz Sharif government has come, Pakistan had a very incompetent water commissioner. Pakistan has a water commissioner, a person responsible for overseeing Pakistan's water interest, a man called Jamaat Ali Shah, who was since the time of Musharraf, almost for 10 years he was Pakistan's water commissioner. And it is actually said within the patriotic circle that the man was compromised because he did not raise any alarm or any